Saints Row 2022 released a couple days ago, and with it being quite literally GTA on pure, unadulterated crack from the seminal vesicles of Pablo Escobar himself, I was always going to make a video on one of the better game series in the 2000s. Loved Saints Row 4, but Saints Row 2022 is a steaming hot pile of excrement. It's like the developer meetings had the devs take turns showing the squamous epithelium, lining their own assholes, and use that as inspiration to make the game. So why did I make this video if the game was bad?
Money!
Well, viewers for the most part still can't get monetized, and with me screaming fuck, shit, bitch, and cum in my videos more than the opening sequence of this god-awful dialogue, I probably never will. The story? Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it.
Nigga, did I just catch you having fun?
I didn't deal with too many bugs, and even then I think most people agree it isn't Cyberbug 2077 levels of hot garbage, though the gameplay is like using the toy gun from Fallout 3 to beat the game. Off a permanent stream of perk 30s through SpongeBob's He Was #1 hat, I would say this game is more enjoyable than skinning your nutsack and somersaulting into the salt water of the Atlantic, so join me as we sniff some crack off a Looney Tunes GTA character's ass and play Saints Row 2022 on crack. There are 5 different difficulty types, and I pick Sensei cause mom ain't raised no bitch. The game starts at the local New Orleans Saint strip club, and out comes a man whose nose looks like a slip and slide family adventure. He goes to the fucking box Kanye used in that one music video, who lets him in after the— is that Monopoly money he used to bribe the bouncer? I don't see Big Benny on any of those. The up-to-date impeccable graphics made me feel like I was actually there, if God turned down the shaders and texture levels to a minimum in real life, and yes, this was on Ultra, the best graphics you can get in the game. Presumably, the main character walks in the wardrobe and we get the character creation sequence. For presets, we get the main character from Batwoman, literally me if I was 6'5". We get a character from Ghostbusters, Herschel Walker, Yor from League of Legends with the cyberpunk hairstyle. Every time I go to Starbucks, I do one push-up, pool noodle arms, and my dad got me into Harvard with a 2.1 GPA. But I decided to go for the idealized version of myself, drop some porn oil on my head to symbolize my tragic backstory of a Mr. Clean BBC polisher, debate on role-playing the Silver Surfer or the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, and holy shit, I can give myself some milkers. I decide pepperoni's in season and slap some on my nipples before admiring the Giga Chad drag queen who isn't allowed within viewing distance of a school bus that I created. I tell the business guy to fuck off with the printed V-Bucks and partay, and now I'm getting put in my grave. The dirt physics is sensational. I've built such a beast, the dirt just dissolves upon touching my skin. We rewind back to a few months ago and get an intro to Marshall Defense Industries and their erect penis tower defense structure. This is all being narrated by the owner, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimstill Dimmadome, and we get shit on by our CO for watching the orientation video right before we gotta bag the biggest criminal in the entire world. First day on the job, as I mistakenly believed I was trying out to be NASA's next rocket ship for a minute, and with my resistance to taking 2 heat-seeking missiles to the cranium, I'm on Al-Qaeda's draft board for the 2022 World War III draft. This is some of the worst gunplay I've ever seen. It's like I was trying to shoot the main character in a Star Wars movie. It's a fucking stormtrooper.
Way off, it's the side of the backboard.
Apparently the world's made of vibranium from the mines of Wakanda itself, cause nothing is destructible. We have to use the APC as cover. This mission took a couple tries, but again, mama didn't raise no bitch, and after a while, my shirt production lines were firing on all cylinders. I take control of the turret and I don't know what's more exposed, my entire fucking body or the girl who got raw dog rammed on stream and Twitch. I shoot down the helicopter with such ease, I'm now a first round lock in the draft with the #1 overall pick Ukraine eyeing me. Driver's dead, but not before putting a brick on the gas pedal or some shit, leaving us crashed in a mine, and now it's melee time. This man's so locked in on the wall that he doesn't even notice me aiming for the Olakranen. No blinking, nothing. A man of sheer focus and commitment, no Kool-Aid jug is breaking through the wall under his watch. These next tuxedo-laden enemies decided to dress in black for their own funeral and have laser sight, so I used my training to stop, drop, and roll, perplexing the enemy so thoroughly they forgot to fire. I missed the C4 on the first fadeaway, but hit the second, so I probably won't be on ISIS or the Taliban's draft board. My position now is to flank, and flank I do, hitting him from the poop hole on the backside, and I break in with the confidence I'd have in a micro-penis meet and greet, but that goes all out the window as I won't shoot for some reason. I catch up to him, but he uses Drake's spicy anti-pregnant sauce to get away and crosses me up so hard, really shatters the ankles that I got benched to save my own draft stock. Pablo Escobar steals a damn plane, but I'm southern, so lassoing is in my DNA. We get stuck and I zipline in before mildly suggesting ways the CCP could do better and get the firing squad by hanging. Breaking into Drip Escobar's pilot's hatch, where he then proceeds to make me play Twister, bending me over every which way, but my quick thinking gets me out of the pickle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Afterwards, I take a well-earned shower and decide to free the nipple for the rest of the game. Oprah DeGeneres is really not pleased, however, and stiffs me on my bonus even though I caught the bad guy and even tries to act tough on me, but my baloney nipples scare her off and we finish the tutorial.
Online. Balls. Go balls. Cow balls.
Yikes. Little dangling horse testing just...
Middle schoolers who think Fortnite seasons have a deep, intricate storyline probably cringed at this shit. It stays like this. I wish Chris Brown was my father. At the very least, I could drown in the sorrows of my domestic abuse than have to deal with this bullshit. The one funny thing from this sequence is me apparently giving Helen Keller the wheel and wrecking my car by the time I get back home. Of course, the first thing I do is immediately make innocent women gag at the sight of my manliness. We get introduced to our friends through writing that looks straight out of a 90s sitcom that got canceled after the pilot episode. We have exclusive footage of the bootleg fan-made Friends reboot, Acquaintances.
I've told you before, the idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society where money is not a concept.
Yeah? Then why don't you go run off and join the commune? As an investor, I don't like wasting money.
You're wearing a fucking bow tie.
Okay, I will throw in $20 for a waffle maker.
What sort of waffle maker can I get for 35 bucks?
Presumably one that makes fucking waffles.
This game single-handedly undid the last 50 years of Suicide Hotline's work. For some quick lore, Kevin is a DJ for the Idols gang, getting paid in exposure. Nina's a getaway driver for the Pantoros gang and also has an art major. Yeah, vente cafe latte, shaken not stirred with cream and sugar on the side, please. Thank you. Finally, for Ellie, he's the black eye to deflect criticisms of racism and that going against the grain but is now stereotypical black genius. We decide to do what any struggling, debt-laden student does and rob a bank with the boys. We find Kanye's matching little Dirk box and throw him in the trunk before robbing the bank. My job is to distract the cops, and I avoid them to get to the getaway location. And see, they stole my car for parts. Blinded by pure rage at something so vile, I send them all to live Shakespeare meet and greets before stealing their bikes and jumping off a mountain to avoid cops chasing me. For more cops who knew I'd be jumping the Marianas Trench somehow and set up a roadblock in the perfect fucking spot. As Nina uses this Spider-Man car suit unlockable, didn't know they added this in the remastered series, to stick to the poster and get me to safety. Next mission has me track down the Pantoros gang's convoy, but little do they know the leader, Sergio, is a sick fuck and likes a quick fuck himself, and has the Roblox upgrade to my Kanye suit. A guy named Rim Jobs is my getaway driver, and with him, no vehicle's asshole is out of munching range. Just like that guy at the start of the video, this turret manager's so locked in trying to shoot down the Roadrunner for Willy Coyote, she doesn't notice me killing her ally before we play Ring Around the Rosie with this malfunctioning Coil Ray doppelganger. Sergio comes at us with the monster truck, but this episode of A Bug's Life has a happy ending, as we presumably kill him after he runs into a rock. The new Mr. T, Silas Skin in League of Legends, drives the convoy, and he's still too OP Riot Nerf as we leave the truck looking like my dick after 7 seconds of penetration. We fight the survivors in this rock arena, and it's pretty easy, but we get shields for the first time. Don't know how, all he's got are some chains. Doesn't matter as I come in with the Breaker of Chains, Queen of the First Lanes, first of her named Good Night, Don't Let the Bedbugs Bite combo. He somehow wakes up after I severed his carotid artery, but he gets isekai to another world and my work here is done. The retired World War I German Kaiser, also known as my boss, gives me a promotion for single-handedly wiping out a convoy. Next mission, we steal a golf cart and help JR, the driver of our last mission, get his car parts back from the idle commies, who nationalized his equipment, and we can't have communists on American soil now, can we? So we agree to help for a stake in his company. We decide to disguise ourselves as Stalin fanboys who gave up the clothes on their back for the cause and walk right in, fight some emos, and take the shipping container back to JR where we defend against the Soviet Union's next attack as we evolve into fucking Rampardos apparently. Also, I just want to notice here, whenever you're doing these mini takedowns, the other enemies stand around doing nothing like the Foot Clan and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Back home, Kevin can't believe a communist society got corrupted. Shocker, I know. And Nina won't even speak to me. We start the security mission, protecting the New Testament or some shit we stole back from the Pantoros last mission, and meet Mina Star, leader of the board of directors, as this bitch is apparently trying to sell blizzards from Dairy Queen or something instead of champagne. What the fuck are these physics? Our former CEO gives us a drink, and then all hell breaks loose as the Pantoros nation attacked, and I take this moment of carnage to unleash pent-up rage and kill some civilians, but the game won't let you. I better not hear a politician complain about violent video games like Saints Row contributing to shoot. Okay, well, you know what? No one's playing this game in a couple days. After fighting to retrieve the codex, the idols show up unannounced, and sure, I could do with a threesome, although it quickly turns into a gangbang as it's 17 idols trying to stick their magazines up my shitter, but my strap strap-on proved superior, and we get the codex to follow us as we escort it back, use a cannon to blow a hole through the wall, and pick up the chopper. We mowed down some primitive tribesmen coming at a fully automatic minigun with ancient Sumerian weaponry, and saved the board member minus star, but left the idols to bamboozle us and steal the codex, which gets us fired. Nina's depressed too, cause Sergio broke apart the Pantoros family and we spent 2 hours buying knives. What? This almost perplexed me more than knowing people actually signed off on this game's release to the masses. Really an unsolvable Da Vinci puzzle. Knives? Nina gets a message the Pantoros are gonna crash the idol party Kevin and Ellie are at, and oh, Black Eye's shot already, he's not making it past 21. We drive in and engage in a 3-way battle before getting to fight an idol boss with the boys. Kevin has to make a choice and he chooses the boys, of course, and we make this e-girl themed bubblegum dispenser's ass look like target paper at a shooting range. We bust our way out to get my favorite gun in the game. The RPG stands for Rampaging Pantoros Gut Rearranger, as is demonstrated on screen. It's not a horror movie, so I'm sure he'll be fine, but we decide to start our own criminal empire, even though our crew consists of a failed security guard, an art major, a dude whose defining trait is being without a shirt, and Bill Nye's love child with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Eli gets us started on the right track, and Nina knows a great place for us that's being renovated to set up shop. But apparently instead of renovating, they got Miley Cyrus on the case and are gonna wreck the church to make condos. Being anti-capitalist college students, we can't let that happen, of course. So we wreck the construction site, beat the marshals who came in on golf carts, and we go take the deed owner, John Bland, on a little demonstration of easy ways to get pulled over in the real world. He gives us not only the deed, but the entire suitcase after we go for the Michael Jordan free throw line dunk, and even then we run over him after with the intent of homicide, but he manages to live. So we bolt out of there before his Wolverine regenerating ass can get revenge. Finally, I open the church door since we forgot the keys. In a little 3-stage battle against some invaders later, we get to bask in the glory of our church turned criminal capital, find a logo, and for the name,
We call ourselves the Saints.
that's the name of the game. We have some side missions up next, with each one being more benign and boring than the last. We have a second Kevin mission where he lived in the orphanage as a kid and never got a mecha burger as a child, and now wants to relive the childhood he never had. The location is swarming with idols, and after dealing with the anarchists, the drive-thru manager tells us they stole all the mecha burgers in a blow against capitalistic materialism, and worst of all, soggy french fries. The last point almost makes me pick up the revolutionary sickle myself, but I'm able to resist, and we rob the entire car back, giving Kevin 500 mecha burgers. You see this absolute Giga Chad, one stomp and we need to send aid to Japan and Haiti again. Look at him taking supersonic punches to the stomach, a true Civ Lifer subscriber, allowing his enemies to get their hits in to assert dominance and let them know resistance is futile. Is there any world where this guy's packing less than 15 inches? Here's live footage of Senator Armstrong hitting that subscribe button and the power up that ensued. By leaving a like and subscribing, you too will grow 7 feet, gain 15 inches where it matters, and 2, more importantly, not miss out on future content. Next up in our inaugural company meeting, we have to stick our fingers in some corporate pies and get some connections going, despite the fact it sounds like I'm gonna go cucking myself by fishing for a corporate CEO's liquid gold. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. Another boring mission, so I'll just give the one funny bug that happened at the end. And JR won't talk to me. He runs to his preordained spot to make sure neither me nor the pigeons presumably can take it. After we indoctrinate JR, we get the venture map, which is where you play the mini games like this nuclear cum dumpster. We bring back the Hulk seminal fluids in big trucks to the Shrek swamp, don't kink shame, and get paid big bucks for it. Next up, it's LARPing time. Mad Eli asks us to help him LARP, so we equip the cardboard Leonidas skin we'll probably add in Fortnite someday. We Trojan horse our way through to the Silver Serpents, and after not finding the duct tape we need, we jump in a snake, go through the digestive tract, wiping out its polyps in our on-site colonoscopy treatment before jumping at the rectum. Next up, we have to set our recruiting settings to US Army's level of aggressive. To get new recruits, I have to go into this death arena and win, kind of like a streamed Hunger Games meets Lord of the Flies on a deserted island. I buy a ticket and jump into the devil boat. First weapon is the Lollipop in the Ops Harley Quinn special. Pretty much the best melee weapon in the game, which isn't a high bar to cross. Frozen feces would feel more satisfying to use than most weapons here. After using Jinx's Star Guardian grenade launcher and a variety of other weapons, I see them. The furries. My hunter instincts kick into overdrive, mouth salivates, sweat perspirates as I have the most fun wiping out this scourge of all that is evil from the earth. In the final stage, I got stuck in a pickle where I had no health and a bulky police officer was raining airstrikes on my ass every time I peeked. So I stopped, drop, and roll my way to get the melee takedown, and she's on the turret. Barely make it out with my anal virginity intact, but I am able to American sniper the fuckers, take the turret, and mow the rest of the enemies down, bringing me fame, and our gang some new recruits. Apparently the only streaming service that you could view this entire fight on was Nick Jr. showing at select Weenie Hut Jr. locations. Cause who the fuck are these? Trying to build a gang and we got some mud pies I created as a 5-year-old. I know I made this joke in my Walking Dead video, which you should definitely check out by the way. These bitches look like muck from Pokemon Go. If I get stopped and robbed at gunpoint by these fuckers, my first thought is to send out Pikachu, not give them my wallet. I asked Kevin if he wants to binge watch the Teletubbies later tonight and he says he's down, but Kevin gets jumped by a cat ear PNG streamer for only donating 50% of his last paycheck. It's a good thing he's never caught Lackey. Okay, well it didn't help too much. Kevin stands us up on the Teletubbies marathon and Eli asks us to go looking for him following the phone signal. I realize the idols have this place surrounded and stole Kevin, so I bust in with the pepperoni slices stiff and lactating in an attempt to intimidate them into giving me information, but they won't bite. So I start a bar fight. I get to Kevin's phone, but I myself jump by the idols, and after showing them that thing is permanently attached to my waistband, I find one of them had to take a potty break, attach the porta potty to my car, and wreck the idol camp nearby, covering the man in his own and unknown excrement. After a while, he can't take it and tells me the idols took Kevin to Bin Laden's next target. I'm on my way to the largest tower in the city, and apparently my Bin Laden comment was accurate, as while I was busy cosplaying Harley Quinn, I had to take breaks in between to defuse bombs. I finally get to Kevin, and we decide to take revenge, so Wingsuit unlocked, the only really great mechanic in this game. We skydive our way to the idol's mansion, ironic considering they follow the cult of Stalin, but this is no time for political discourse, so we send them the way of the Soviet Union and the dodo bird, and we take out another idol leader. And after I kill their leader, apparently I get 2 new super followers. Don't know why they aren't attacking, but I'm sure it's the sheer brilliance of the burnt bologna slices I attach to my chesticles. After that, Nina has her car stolen by Sergio, and for the Pantoros, their car is everything. Especially since Nina has fucking Spider-Man powers worked on by Tom Holland himself. We get to their camp, commit atrocities that would let me join the 1940s Dictators Club, and the car isn't here, but is being scrapped for parts in the shop. The mechanic won't talk. We decide to fuck up their car and give him the mini wheels. After the most heinous of crimes, he relents and tells us Sergio's at the quarry. We get to the quarry, and Sergio's in the midst of sending Nina's spider car to meet its descendant models. Next up, it's another Nina mission as we're looking for revenge, and to do that, we have to blow up the Pantoros cars as well as their furnace so they can't make new ones. We commandeer a helicopter of all things and get moving. After improving my draft stocks for the 2022 World War III draft by dropping 40 kills with the helicopter, we get into the compound and start sending the cars flying. The thing I hate most about this game is the autosave. As of right now, I'm still playing on Sensei, and as we get to Sergio's compound, he left his monster truck ripe for the taking, and I'm left having to stall the hordes for Nina with over 5 rounds of enemies, and if you die once, you go all the way back, losing up to 20 minutes of your time, which is insane when coupled with the fact I have no bullets because this grease sponge of a strong, independent woman who literally doesn't need no man, the man needs her, takes up hundreds of bullets to make a dent in her armor. Eventually, I figure out she's attached molasses to her feet in a pre-fight ritual, just roll around her and kill her with bullets while I heal off the others when I get low. And Nina Supermans her way through, using Sergio's monster truck to take out the forge, but now the compound is about to collapse. After another set of failures in the next quest because I didn't realize I had to get in the car before the timer runs out, but we eventually hotwire and make our quick getaway, leaving the Roblox posse punching the air. We're playing the family-friendly version of Dungeons and Dragons, Cows and Fowls, Hens and Pens, I'm not too sure, but we realize we have to pay our crew. And Nina tells us we should rob a train. We need some muscle though, a hardened criminal who can help me, and there's only one, the Narwhali. The prison break's the only pseudo-stealth mission which has you walking and avoiding the gaze of fellow guards. They're stormtroopers, so not exactly rocking triple-digit IQ, so it wasn't too bad. I find the Narwhali and try to trick the prison guard with my expert speech skill. Boss man says orders. Whose orders? Orders. Wait a minute. You're the guy with the homework folder filled with the raccoon porn.
They deserve that.
After breaking the crypto mine, seeing the Narwhal really live up to his name, we initiate the break. With all the elegance and skillful planning of Michael Schofield if he had the mental capacity of Bellic, we resort to fighting our way through. We take an APC vehicle to aid our escape, leading to the only time in the game I blew smoke out of my nose, and you would have heard it if I was raw-dogging you while whispering into your ear in a silent room. Chuckle.
There, we're out of the prison.
And how will you get out of the canyon?
Which is taking us back to the prison. Shit.
After buying Pablo some dinner, he agrees to help us rob the train. I introduce the gang to the Narwhali and the plan for the train heist. No. Put on this hat. It's time for a team building exercise.
What?
Now, this game seems like it was made for people in the Gen Z age bracket, perhaps dabbling in millennials, what with student loans and team building, anti-capitalism, as well as the Friends-esque dialogue if the writer of the show lost his wife and kids in a car wreck and drowned his sorrows in a bottle whilst writing the show. I'm 21, so this game should be made for me, but my gang in Saints Row is of the straight-face variety. I don't think I chuckled once. This game's so unfunny, I probably get half my points taken off by association. I'm skipping this mission in protest. We also get to the Narwhali secret stash where he stashed his fucking minigun. After a heartwarming experience, we get ever closer to the hardened criminal and get sentimental, even offering him an invite to permanently join the Saints. Next up, the great train heist. I give Pablo one of the 200 knives I bought when I was down in my feelings in a show of brotherly compassion. Really gonna be comparing our own narwhals after this as our bond grows ever closer. The mission is just a train duty scroller, but it was fun. But unfortunately, we have to deal with another strong, no male-needing woman who soaks up the rest of my ammo as the Pantoros decide to rob the train, complicating things. After dealing with all that, here it comes, the last JoJo boss, Sergio, so badass. He didn't have a single line of dialogue all game, preparing to silently steal your Robux in a battle for the ages. Narwhal comes out and takes the kill. It's not even like the monster truck scene where he was presumably dead. This dude never comes back. This brother gone. Not even a 5-year-old taking a perk 30's more wasted than this dude. After playing whack-a-mole, I get separated from the Narwhali and Doug Dimmadome's trap card, and with that bullet sponge soaking up every bullet earlier, I'm left dick in hand flaccid with the Viagra jar empty. All I can do is cosplay pinball from Ben 10 rolling everywhere. Eventually they get me, but round 2 electric boogaloo, they spawn without armor this time, so I'm able to take them out, commandeer a tank that one-shots everything in sight, making the rest of this level a lot easier and admittedly more fun. After wiping out that starship from Star Wars, the train derails from an explosion and I hop on the getaway mobile as we make out like bandits. I give the guy his cut and let him know he's free to deck my halls any day of the week. Next mission, we've done everything on our checklist, but now we need to make a statement. Steal the codex, the Old Testament that started the Saints in the first place. Me and Kevin are on the case, the most destructive tag team duo since Amber Heard and Ezra Miller. We break through and this fucking shuriken wielder summons a damn hurricane to cut my ass to pieces. I've no idea what just happened. Round 2 and we get to the codex, but in the most obvious twist of events, it was a trap and it's actually a bomb we have to disarm. Kevin tells us it's probably going to be on the massive idol yacht repossessed for the good of the commune, ironically, and we roll out. We crash the boat like an Atlantis terror threat and make our way through the boat. We steal the codex, plant the bomb, and just as it looked like the terrorists are going to win, our getaway copter gets shot down. We have to deal with the Cyclops e-girls again. It was tough, but I was able to keep them away from my credit card and popped enough caps in their asses to render them obsolete on this plane of existence. Me and Kevin walk through the boat, unfixable by even flex tape, and abandon ship to jet ski away after a half-hearted attempt from the idols to get revenge. With the codex taken, statement made, idols prostate examined, we hear a heartwarming speech from our great leader. As we're celebrating our essential monopoly, as our penis is way past the point of no return in the idols and Pantoros' mouths, Marshall still has some fight in them and are going to steal our company due to us becoming a competitor. After leaving some dinner for Snickerdoodle, we go raid Marshall Defense Industries to convince them to maybe sort of fuck off. We were gonna take the copter, but somebody hotboxed it with crack cocaine, and 1 second is 1 second too many. I guess we'll drive instead. But our squad of unemployed, unloved 50-year-olds proves superior to elite combat-trained veterans. More fighting until we get to the Gatling gunner who even Invincible couldn't take out. So you have to wait till he overheats and then shoot his Wi-Fi wires looking for a signal before taking the battery on his back. And finally we get to the top and Doug's been shit-talking my entire way up here, so I want to see what he says to my face, but to my surprise, Mira is there, as Atticus ran away like a little bitch. Still playing on Sensei, by the way, my mama could never. But Star proposes a trade. I give her chair of the company, she gives me the Saints back. I have to Batman my way through the skies, cause damage in a shipping yard, break some expensive equipment until they bring in an AI-controlled tank. I have a USB override, though, that can force the player with the Asian name to switch sides. Challenger, here I come. The train gave me a taste of the tank's destructive capabilities, but like a wise man once said,
I'm tired of getting a taste of them. I want the whole load.
And load I got, overflowing with ecstasy as I caused Atticus' share price to tank harder than a Japanese pilot on empty. The vote, however, doesn't go as planned as it's a tie, meaning Atticus keeps his seat. Just kidding, I'm the tiebreaker, bitch. I'm now Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Mira Star gives me the Saints before we part our ways. And now for the last mission. We need to complete 2 ventures and play 6. The only enjoyable experience is defrosting defrauding insurance companies by suicide bombing my way in the minigame. Even then it was hard as fuck. I could only finish 3 of them before turning down the difficulty to Mama Did Raise a Bitch difficulty. After a few millennia though, I could finally finish the story, so let's do this. After party. We get a flashback of the strip club sequence from the start of the story with nothing but positives, enemies vanquished, saints reacquired. The only thing that could stop us now is a federal RICO case. And wouldn't you know it, the Narwhal wants to join me in my gang. Oh, did I say join? I meant replace me for my gang, and shovels me 6 feet under in a bizarre sequence where he knew I was alive, but didn't finish the job, kind of inviting trouble at this point. I wake up in Astro World. We walk through Sovngarde and observe some memorabilia. I didn't know they had cows and fowls in Sovngarde. Fuck yeah. We decide we like LARPing so much I turn this into a real-life game where we go around collecting various animals to get 3 bears and win. We see snakes coming out of the barn and we can't have 6ix9ine and the Saints. That's a copyright liability. So I go investigate, pet Snickerdoodle, and open a staircase to hell. After waking up, Red Skull used a cloning device and kept sending swarms of enemies after me as my subconscious voice of my friends berates me for all the shit that's happened. Kevin doesn't even say anything about being captured, just goes, fuck you, main character. We see the staircase to heaven and make a mad dash forward. Apparently the pseudo-velociraptor from Jurassic Park paralyzed us. And our Wally steals our friends and is out. But with all hope lost, our goose looking cooked, toast buttered, seminal vesicles massaged, Snickerdoodle meows a couple times, breaking the paralysis spell, speech 100. We bust our way through the door in the nick of time as we transport back to reality. We walk around all crippled with everyone looking either dead or just a normal post-college party. I'll let you be the judge. We get a flashback to the original Acquaintances pilot episode, but in this reboot they casted Narwhal? Oh, come on, you placed in a Mexican now, you've made it political. But yeah, it turns out my friends are step-bro into some sort of actual sicko's fantasy. It's like if a 4chaner was given the right to pick 3 random girls for nefarious activities. Just vile, and no one deserves this fate. So we have to go rescue them, which is going to be difficult with our crippled legs slowing us. Never mind, I'm as good as new. Had to double check to make sure I wasn't playing the Care Bears, because the power of friendship leaves too strong a scent. At the Narwhal secret stash, ironically enough, I load up my guns, and as he sends his goons after us, I get the message, come back to where it all started. I get surrounded in the Black Sister Series Mexican, but I say no thank you to the casting couch roll and start killing the crew. My martial biometrics are still recognized, so I pick up the minigun and start blasting. After committing essentially a genocide on the native peoples, the lone survivor puts the address where they're keeping my friends in on my phone in a dialogue so awful I'm not even gonna show it. My biometrics let me use the big starship that me and Narwhal first fought in the opening tutorial mission, and we use it to rain hellfire on the gang before going in for a direct assault. So I mow through these users on easy difficulty. No, I didn't change it back. I wanted to finally have a second video come out within a week of the last one for once. Check out these videos linked in the pinned comment.
Look at Randy Orton slithering. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
I free Eli, but Narwhal wanted me all along, and as he gets to unbuttoning my panties, my friends come in to save the Okay, you know what? I kinda hope Narwhal wins now. You'd see more compelling dialogue with a better story and twists than Dora the Explorer's fucking crossover with Diego. It wouldn't make me want to disconnect from God's servers. Another fight sequence as I'm down to my last bar of health, knowing if I die, this game is gonna wipe out 30 minutes of playtime. After a while, I found another bug. After I got Pablo Escobar to, like, low health, I threw everything I had at him. Really, just had to ensure he made it to the next Napoleon TED Talk, get the autograph book signed, all that. Rockets, laser weapons, and apparently he was glitched out this entire time until he bugged back in, after, of course, I waste my RPG rounds and elite ammo. A bridge breaks and I'm left all alone to deal with the last boss, so 1v1 that'll be remembered for days before everyone forgets about this dogshit experience. He somehow got in, launched, and brought a helicopter. Now I'm left with rocket artillery trying to bring this shit down. Hello, sir, let me just scooch by you real quick, thanks, dude. Hit the helicopter engine and send it free falling, and we get this last badass scene out of a Western movie to finish, squash, compress the beef. We get one last heartwarming sunset sequence with me and my friends, ending off this, I think it was a game. In all seriousness, the only way you'll enjoy this game is turning your brain off, really monkey your way through. It's pretty terrible. Here's a list of all the things I like and didn't like for the game, and if you really do want to buy it, it's probably getting the Activision $50 off within 3 weeks of release treatment pretty soon. Leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy to not miss out on future content, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.